David Shaw here with another off-the-record story. If you want to learn more about Washington, D.C., come visit my site, offtherecordtours.com. Let's go. Today, I'm in Washington's Anacostia neighborhood, and this is one of the best views of Washington, D.C. skyline, and it belonged to one of our nation's greatest heroes, Frederick Douglass. Douglass was born enslaved, not far from here in southern Maryland. He escapes and becomes the leading speaker and writer of the abolitionist movement. And in addition to his civil rights vocation, he was a newspaperman, a world traveler, a diplomat, a bank president, a member of the board of Howard University. And Douglass moves here in 1878, and that's where he spends the last years of his life. And they were very eventful years. President Rutherford Hayes nominates him as Marshal for the District of Columbia, and it's the first time an African American received an appointment requiring Senate confirmation. And he finishes the last of his autobiographies here, The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. The initial structure was built before the Civil War, and Douglass makes several additions, and the house says so much about what was important to Douglass. It has very gracious places for visiting and conversation, lots of space for books, and a private place for writing and studying. He paid $175,000 in today's money for it, making it one of the most expensive houses in the district, in a white neighborhood on the highest hill. Douglass was making a statement. Douglass's wife, Anna, of 44 years, dies here in 1882, and he writes a friend, "The main pillar of my house has fallen." 2 years later, he marries Helen Pitt, a white woman 20 years his junior. Neither family approves of the match. But Douglass and Helen knew what was true long before the famous slogan, and that is, love is love. Douglass fights the good fight until the very end. On February 20th of 1895, he attends a rally downtown in support of women's suffrage and returns home to prepare for a meeting later that night at a neighborhood church when he collapses and dies. Helen is determined that her husband's legacy lives on through this house. Helen and Franklin often visited George Washington's Mount Vernon, and Helen wanted Cedar Hill to also become a national memorial to her husband. Douglass's will leaves the house to her, but his family contests it, and Helen has to take out a large mortgage to buy out other family members. And it is through her hard work and that of numerous other women that the house remains intact to this day. It is absolutely worth a visit. And when you're in Anacostia, also go next door to the Smithsonian's Anacostia Community Museum and check out the big chair downtown. As always, if you have suggestions for future episodes, please leave them in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, I hope you enjoyed that off-the-record story. If you want to learn more about Washington, D.C., things seen and unseen, arrange your tour of your nation's capital at offtherecordtours.com. Until then, I'm David Shaw.